guys, I'm back with another video, and this was requested by Pink Flower 2410, so thank you so much for the request. And this was sort of an interesting request, something that I'd never thought of before, but now that I think about it, is an excellent question. Pink Flower 2410 asked me to compare the Sigma F45 buffer brush, which is a traditional kind of kabuki brush, with the Sigma F80 flat top kabuki brush. Now, I already have a full length review of this brush, the F80, so if you're interested in that, go right ahead and watch that. Link is provided right here. But right now, I'm just going to kind of compare what are the similarities and differences between these brushes. Now, at first glance, these don't seem like they would have a lot in common, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized, you know, these actually do kind of have a lot in common, and these are both very essential brushes, I think, to have in your kit. And so if it were between the two, you know, which one would you buy? And so I'm going to kind of go through the different uses of these products, which would hopefully help Pink Flower 2410 decide which brush she should buy. So let's just start with the flat top kabuki. Now, the flat top kabuki can be used on both powder-based products and liquid products. It's a synthetic brush, which means it can be used with liquid foundation and it won't get damaged, which is really great. My favorite things to use this product with are cream to powder foundations and gel-based liquid foundations, or liquid foundations with a really thick consistency. You don't necessarily need to use this with a really liquidy foundation. You can. The great thing about this brush is that it's so dense that it really works really well at buffing product into the skin. It gives a really airbrushed, flawless finish. And it's also really great to control the product with this brush because it's not tapered at all. And so it really gives you a lot of control, especially over products with a really thick consistency. For example, the Matte Velvet Plus is one of my favorite foundations to use with this brush, and also my Dream Smooth Mousse. This is my favorite brush to use with that foundation. Now, granted, you can use this with a powder foundation or with mineral foundation. However, in my experience, I've found that natural haired bristles work a lot better with mineral-based products or with setting powders than a synthetic. So a synthetic's going to be better for more liquid-based products, and then the natural hairs on the F45 buffer brush will be better for more like mineral makeup. So it kind of just depends on what your daily foundation routine is. Personally, I love to switch up my foundation routine. Today I'm wearing all Bare Minerals makeup, but I also love liquid foundation, and that's what I really use most of the time. What other uses this has is you can use this for just an all-over setting powder, like a loose powder. You can also use it with pressed powder to set liquid foundation. You can use it with mineral makeup like I did today. I use this brush for that. It's very dense, and what I love most about this brush is that it's very large. So you just really have to go at your face very quickly to cover the entire face. It's just so fast. So if you're someone who's in a big rush in the morning and you need just a really quick, easy brush to use, I think that this is a really easy brush to use. Not to say that this one isn't easy to use, but this one takes up a lot smaller area of the face than this one does. It just kind of takes up a lot of the space. Another great thing to do with this brush is to blend out any kind of harsh lines. So if you contour and you accidentally put a little too much bronzer on your cheekbones or underneath your neckline or something, this is almost like a magic eraser brush. So you can just go through and buff out the sides to kind of lessen the impact of maybe a blush or a bronzer. You just put a little bit too much on that day. Just take a clean, you know, buffer brush like this and just it erases it really easily. As far as coverage, I think you'll probably get a more medium to full coverage with the flat top brush, and this is just so incredibly dense, and it's also very velvety. I love this brush, but this one I think you're going to get a lot thicker of a coverage than you will with a buffer brush like this. Not to say that this isn't dense, but it is tapered, which means it's not going to really just pack the product directly onto your face the way the flat top brush will. So all in all, I would say my deciding factor on how I would decide between which brush I would buy is, are you going to be using more liquid foundation every day, or are you going to be using more powder foundation every day? It also depends on what you have currently in your kit. Do you have a lot of brushes that you use with liquid foundation? If so, maybe you can pass on this one. I've also heard that e.l.f. makes a $3 flat top kabuki brush very similar to this, and I've also heard Coastal Scents makes a much cheaper flat top kabuki brush. So if it's something you're kind of on the fence about, I think this one was $14. If you don't want to spend $14 plus shipping on the Sigma brush, definitely look at e.l.f. and also look at Coastal Scents, because I've read really great reviews on those flat top kabuki brushes as well. Another alternative to the flat top kabuki brush is the Everyday Minerals flat top brush. I think this one was $10. So this one's a little bit cheaper as well, and it's almost exactly the same brush. It's a little larger and a little less dense, but it's essentially the same thing. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Thanks so much for requesting this video. I hope that this helps you when you're trying to decide which brush to buy. If there's anything I forgot to mention, feel free to leave me a comment below. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, commenting. I just really appreciate everyone's support, and if you haven't already, please check out my blog, msbeautybitch.wordpress.com, and follow me on Twitter at msbeautybitch. Have a great day, and thanks again for watching. Bye!